Hi everyone, this is Danielle and I am your Friday vlogger for my lap band journey. Hope everybody's okay. Today's topic is pre-op worries and telling family and friends about getting banded. My pre-op worries personally were, would the band work? That was my main concern. I didn't think about the operation or the pain afterwards or what the operation entailed until sort of on the very day. I didn't worry myself with things like that. I don't know, maybe I take a naive approach to things. I don't know, I think I just wanted it done so much that things like that just didn't enter my head. I was convinced I'd be okay, and obviously I am. So I didn't really worry about things like that. I just worried once they got the band inside me, would it work? Would I be okay afterwards? I was looking further ahead than just, you know, the surgery. One thing that did worry me on the day of the surgery was because I went private, I rang up and inquired. Well, I went on the internet first and then I rang up and inquired about my surgery. And because I was self-pay, they could book me in 2 weeks after I'd rang up if I had the deposit. So everything was quite thick and fast, so I didn't have time to do any sort of diet really. From going, then I had to go to the city to talk to the surgeon and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, and I didn't start dieting then because I wasn't sure if I was going to go through with it or not because of money and stuff. But I managed to get the deposit together and I had about a week before the surgery was due. I could have had it, excuse me, I got minting, a couple of days later, but from meeting the surgeon, but I didn't want it that quick because it was my son's birthday, it was his first birthday. And I didn't really want to miss it, and I wanted to be able to eat the food and things like that, silly reasons really. And yeah, so what they said to me was to go on a milk diet, to just drink milk, water, milky coffees, milky teas, and OXO cubes diluted with water. Disgusting. So I just did my own liquid diet. I just did soups, shakes, and just drinks and stuff, tea, coffee, whatever. And they said it was to shrink the liver so it didn't get in the way of the operation. If your liver was too big, you couldn't have the operation. And I researched it a bit, and I saw some people saying, you know, that was kind of, they said that it made it easy for him, but there's no way they couldn't do the surgery. But I thought I'll not risk it, so I stuck to it until the night before the surgery, where me and my husband we'd driven two hours up to the hospital, well, to this nice little hotel near the hospital, and we were staying in the hotel, and we decided to go out for a meal. And to be honest, if you know, I said it was like the Last Supper, but it was the horriblest meal I've ever had. I wish I'd just gone for a pizza or something now, thinking back. And I had this meal and I had a pudding, and then we watched some TV in the room, and I think we then went to the nearest petrol station, or gas station as Americans would say, and then got some sandwiches and crisps, and we ate loads really. Anyway, so the morning of the operation we went to the hospital and I was there all day and I was done last. There was no order apparently and I was done last. And just before my operation, 2 of the 5 of us that were getting banded that day had been turned away because their livers were too big. Which I was thinking, oh gosh, as this meal I had last night, have I blown it, have I blown it? Those few days of sticking to a liquid diet, have I blown it? Oh, please tell me I haven't. Anyway, but I was okay, and actually the surgeon the next day said that I was the only one that was straightforward, and that the other people, as far as he could tell, had not even tried to do any sort of liquid diet and pre-op diet. So I guess there's a lot to be said for it. You should follow it. Don't be rebellious like me the night before, and don't be rebellious like those other ladies. The 2 ladies that couldn't get banded, how much they have felt. They lost the deposit, apparently they don't get that back. It was over £1,000. Crazy. So that was really it for my pre-op worries. Just would I be able to get the band, well yeah, would I be able to get the band on, and would it be successful? And it is now, slowly but surely being successful. As for telling my family and friends, now to date I think about 10 people know and now I've got to the stage that I've become more private about it recently, and don't want anyone to know. I don't know why, and I wish my friends that I had told I'd not bothered, because I've got this real feeling in the pit of my stomach when I do get to go away it's going to be, well, we all can't just go out and get a band. You're alright, as if I've not put any work in myself, which, I mean, if they only knew the 3 times a gym, 3 hours to 4 hours amount of exercise I'm doing in the gym each week, and the fact before I had this latest fit I would just go to bed actually feeling hungry because I didn't want to go over my calories or my Weight Watcher points or anything like that. If they knew all of that, if they lived with me, they'd see that it's not just, but I guess we're all going to face that at some point. The first person I told was obviously my husband and my mum. My husband was dead against it at first, just for he didn't, want any risks of anything happening while I was under anaesthetic and things like that. But I explained to him and showed him pictures of how I've been big for so long, and he could see it was really getting to me, and dieting just wasn't working. With each baby it became harder and harder for me to lose weight, and with age it became harder. I'm 29, I know I'm not old, but from when I lost 70 pounds when I'm 24 to now, well, before I got the band, there was a difference. There was definitely a difference in that few years being older and obviously having 2 children. So he could see that I really wanted it doing. I spoke to my mum, and of course she was worried, but she fully supported me, and she said if she'd been my age she'd have done the same thing. If this was available when she was my age, she'd have done it, and that's all I needed to hear from her. She just wanted a text as soon as I went in, a text as soon as I got out, a bit of a morphined up text she got from me that didn't really make sense and took me about half an hour to write, but she knew I was okay. So everybody's supported me and everybody's been great. I think the only thing I find with people around me is they expect me to be slim by now, which if they watch YouTube they'd see a lot of people are at goal by now, but I'm just not one of those people, but I'll get there. Yeah, so that was it for my pre-op worries. Just, had I done enough right before the surgery, and would it work afterwards? And telling family and friends, my advice would be just to tell the closest people to you, because at some point, it's not actually happened yet with my friends and co-workers or whatever, but I think there is going to be a point where if I even dare to brag about my weight loss, I think they'll say, well, you've had a band. I mean, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Tune in tomorrow for Saturday's vlogger, which is Paige. I also have my own channel on YouTube if you'd like to subscribe. It's under mckeen1980, mckeen1980. Thanks for Timothy to creating the channel, and I'm really enjoying being a vlogger. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.